18 months. That's all it took for a brand new concrete patio to crack diagonally, corner to corner. And that slab is just the start. From composite decks silently rotting from below to artificial turf reaching 55 degrees Celsius, the backyard features homeowners are pouring money into right now are becoming their most expensive regrets. 10 are practically guaranteed to fail, and the first 2 are already hiding right under your feet. Homeowner. A believed a new concrete patio meant decades of stability. 18 months in, a sharp diagonal crack split the slab from corner to corner, cutting straight through. Engineers blamed thermal expansion. A 60 degrees Celsius swing from noon to midnight stretches concrete just enough to break its back. In winter, trapped water expands by nearly 9%, prying the slab apart from within. Most patios skip the 6-inch crushed stone base and air-entraining admixtures that absorb movement. Control joints, if missing or misaligned, leave cracks to chart their own course. Once a diagonal fracture appears, patching is just a bandage. Structural integrity is gone. The only fix is demolition, compacted subgrade, fiber reinforcement, and a new slab with proper expansion joints. Costs double, and the promise of permanence vanishes. Homeowner B went with composite decking, drawn by its clean, low-maintenance look. The first summer, the boards shone. By year 2, the deck flexed underfoot. The problem was hidden. The builder ignored the manufacturer's ventilation rule, laying joists almost flush to the ground. When airflow drops below 12 millimeters, moisture lingers, pushing the wood core's moisture above 25%. Rot moves in fast, especially after heavy rain. Field studies show 68% of deck failures stem from poor underdeck clearance. By the time sagging starts, the subframe may have lost a third of its strength. Warranties vanish, insurance won't help, and the only solution is a full teardown. Every board and joist removed, ground regraded, vented hangers installed. Decks without breathing space are doomed to fail, no matter how solid they look at first glance. Homeowner C installed a lattice-topped pergola, drawn in by the promise of outdoor comfort and style. On paper, the numbers looked convincing. Manufacturers advertise pergolas as providing up to 30% shade, enough to cool a patio on a sunny afternoon. But real-world coverage falls far short. By midsummer, the slatted roof cast narrow bands of shade that shifted with the sun. The dining set, meant for long weekend lunches, sat rain-soaked after every storm and blistering hot by noon. With no solid roof and no side panels, the pergola offered little shelter from wind-driven rain or harsh UV. Mold crept into the joints where water pooled, and the wood finish faded within 2 years. The brochure's vision of an all-weather retreat never materialized. Instead, the space became a fair-weather ornament, empty for most of the season. Next door, homeowner D invested in a built-in outdoor kitchen, a stone island with a gas grill, fridge, and prep sink, all for $13,000. The first summer, the grill saw regular use. By the following year, usage dropped off a cliff. The kitchen's location just beyond the main patio, exposed to wind and rain, meant every cookout required a deep cleaning. Dust settled inside the cabinets and the stainless steel dulled. The fridge, never rated for outdoor winters, failed after a single freeze. According to post-install surveys, 45% of homeowners with built-in grill islands use them more than once a month in the first year. By year 3, that number falls below 5%. What was meant to anchor lively gatherings now stands mostly idle, a monument to good intentions gone unused. The lesson is clear. Feel-good patio upgrades may look impressive at first, but when function fails, regret sets in long before the finish fades. Homeowner E spent weeks choosing patio lighting, envisioning cozy evenings outdoors. The result was a mix of cool blue LEDs under the eaves, warm amber path lights, and a blinding white spotlight over the grill. On paper, more lighting meant more flexibility. In practice, the clashing color temperatures made the space feel jarring and artificial. Photos from the first summer show harsh shadows and washed-out faces. By year 2, the uneven lighting discouraged evening gatherings altogether. Retrofitting to a consistent 2700 Kelvin spectrum, the industry standard for comfortable, inviting outdoor light, meant rewiring and replacing every fixture. The final build tripled the original cost, all to correct a mistake that could have been avoided with a simple 3-layer plan: ambient, task, and accent lighting, all matched for warmth. Homeowner F chose a decorative stamped concrete finish, drawn by the promise of vibrant color and texture. The installer boasted about UV-resistant sealers, but by the 4th year, the patio told a different story. Sun-exposed sections faded to a pale gray, while shaded corners kept their original tone. The pattern looked uneven, patchy, and tired. In wet weather, the surface became slippery as the top coat wore thin. Industry pigment tests confirm that even premium finishes can lose up to 40% of their color intensity within 4 years, especially in southern and western exposures. Restoration requires grinding down the surface and recoating, a process that costs more than the initial installation. The lesson is clear. Shortcuts on lighting design and surface durability don't just ruin the look, they shorten the life of the entire patio experience. Homeowner H planted a row of fast-growing maples along the patio's edge, looking for privacy. Within 2 years, the pavers near the trunks began to tilt. A camera sent through the French drain uncovered the problem. Roots had invaded the pipe, squeezing the opening down to a trickle. Regional surveys show that when screening trees are placed within 12 feet of a drainage line, there is a 44% chance their roots will breach the pipe in under 5 years. The fix isn't cheap. Clearing the blockage and replacing the pipe cost $8,650, nearly 5 times the price of removing the tree during the initial build. Homeowner, I skipped drainage altogether, trusting the natural slope to carry water away. By the 3rd spring, pooling rainwater softened the soil beneath the patio, causing the base to settle and the surface to buckle. Retrofitting a French drain and re-leveling the patio cost $7,150 compared to $1,200 it would have taken to install proper drainage from the start. Across the Midwest, late-stage drainage repairs average 4 to 6 times the cost of preventive planning. Hidden below the surface, roots and water quietly undermine patios, turning what should be a one-time investment into a recurrent expense. Homeowner J spent months designing a backyard escape, only to discover the patio sat empty most days. The problem wasn't weather, comfort, or even cost, it was placement. A recent survey by the National Kitchen and Bath Association found patios visible from the kitchen are used an average of 2.3 hours per day. Hidden patios, tucked behind walls or out of sight, see just 1.1 hours of use. The difference isn't subtle. Doubling daily usage means the space becomes part of daily life instead of a forgotten corner. The fix rarely requires a full remodel. In most cases, adding a glass panel or expanding an existing window restores a direct line of sight. Material and labor for a basic glass retrofit typically run between $1,200 and $2,400. That single change transforms an underused patio into a true extension of the home. For anyone planning a new build or looking to revive a stagnant space, the checklist is simple. Stand at the main kitchen counter and check what you see. If the patio isn't in view, it's time to rethink the plan. Sometimes the most expensive patio mistake is the one you never use. Every year, thousands of patios fail, costing homeowners billions in repairs and lost value. Quick fixes and trendy upgrades hide expensive risks that surface too late. In 2026, durability and foresight are what protect your investment. The real regret isn't style, it's ignoring what time and weather always reveal. Share your experiences below.